everyone changing up. We did see in a few earlier teams did go down, get knocked. And it was the Vior trio. So Hydro 16 being challenged. There's so many on the top of the board being challenged. And already the number one spot going down. We're seeing this battle right here in Lazy Lake. I think Joe is now finally putting into this fray. Joe has been here before, though. Joe's trio has contested Lazy Lake. Blackish trio hasn't been finding some success out of here. And also, Karma has not found success here. They've been going down early, kind of get wounded going into the third and fourth circle. So this is going to be a big engagement for Legends trio to survive Joe's pressure.
Joe's just outside the top 10 right now as well. That's where we see an increase in prize money as well. It's a huge fight for him. It's just really a one-point game all across the leaderboard as well. Today, the points are just so close. If you guys missed that format as well, basically 30 placement points alongside 2 points for every elimination. So you can really change and carve the way you can move up the standings and rankings. Still, though, it's going to be difficult. These are some of the top teams. If you haven't watched Karma Legends or Aware before either, they're very good at playing off of each other's energy, each other's angles. You'll notice now they're all on that low ground, making sure no one can dive in on one single person. They'll have to challenge all three at the same time.
And this is all adjustments based on bot reviews. It's not about where the storm is. It's just about finding opportunities to get storm surge tags. The whole entire day one, they were doing it by kind of perching up in forts. Now the EU region has decided to let's take us down to some up close and personal box fights.
Now, I know it's called Lazy Lake, but don't let the name fool you. This FEOI can get very, very active in a few moments. A lot of the people around here like to visit it like a central hub, get a few items, spend some money at the market. And we'll notice it. You see the map right now. A few teams at Caddy Corner, Retail Row. As that happens, though, all the way towards the top right side, Fnatic Lane, Younes and Robnik, who came through from Steamy Stacks, the yellow arrows on the map screen on the top right side of the circle. They're in a long-range fight and still not in the zone.
Yeah, and now my question is, where is Andretta's trio? They were the ones that were always literally by game 6, they conditioned that entire northeast part of the map. There was nowhere you're gonna go. They had the north houses as well, all to themselves. Lame's trio literally was nomads. They went all the way down south to Cape Cod by game 6 and got pushed by Andelix's trio there. So they're making adjustments. The same thing with Malibuca. Malibuca went all the way down to Cape Cod as well. They did not like it. They had a fight. Andelix came in and cleaned them all up. So all these adjustments are going to have some, like Shayo said, tsunami type effects here on the leaderboard. Already mentioned the number one spot went down. That's just so huge, Shayo.
Yeah, and the reason I use Tsunami as well is because once it starts, it doesn't stop, and it's always moving forward. It looks like Shizo God is also kind of like a tsunami, the way he's pushing Lame's box. Almost stopping. They have a little bit of a pinch scenario going down right now as well. That's when one person's on one side, the other two are trying to bite from the back as well. Lame can't actually edit out anywhere or find a break. This is troublesome. This is just the first game, and it's already this difficult.
It feels like these trios are connected to the hip. They have so many battles throughout all the type part of the map, and this is the first time they're fighting here. It's unbelievable to see these two trios who are getting up, scrappy up the leaderboard, fight here, considering that they're at Cape Cod.
Road Wave intersecting here as they try to make it towards the zone. Have one teammate picked up just shortly. The ball is in Moaka's field. The issue is this game is not fair for him. This is not just a net with two teams on either side. It's just one man versus basically three, and you can't win that fight.
No, that's why you're seeing a sanding opportunity here. Maybe the tunnel up, but Kibo says not so fast, my friend. Going ahead and dig right into the sand and find himself an opportunity to convert some siphon and, more importantly, 2 points. Igrim's trio is turning around their fate here and with another nice successful wipe right there as we have some battles. But man, Mr. J's trio, who started off the day one with 0 points and ended the day with 0 points, looks like so far that momentum has carried over into day 2. But they've been really consistent other than that, finishing in the top 10. No doubt they have it in them to be consistent, but Shayo, this is literally a new slate of play. The meta has changed here in day 2.
Yeah, and I'm like that you mentioned that, right? You're talking about last season's FNCS in general. Now there's no more power in the POIs. As we mentioned yesterday, the power is in the players, the strategies they have. Harpoon, box dive, invasions. That's what Awares is trying for. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. What did we see before? We left Lazy Link with 2 teams. Look at the mini map now. We've got the entire Fortnite community sharing 3 buildings.
And Levin must have some telepathic abilities because he said that people will be fighting for center. So no longer people are perched on the edge trying to look for Storm Surge tags. They're using their mechanics up in business. Look at that. So many trios in Lazy Lake dead center. Now we're going to see who's going to rotate to the 3rd zone here to center and set that up. Expect Pablo's trio, expect Trulix trio, but I do expect many, many more because when they do in heats, they were successful. Like CRR found a lot of success going center early.
It also kind of looks like 2 different gravity fields happening on the map. One pulling everyone into Lazy Lake. And if you remember that map image, another one pushing everyone to the outside portions of the circle. You don't want to use extra mats to move in. Materials so important to play the end game. You need them for defense and offense. And now we talked about Storm Surge. That purple lightning is striking anyone who's playing too passive and hasn't done damage right now. You have to be careful and stay above the threshold. Benji Fishy's team is 195 damage above. That's a very comfortable space. Still, you'll have to hunt for more tags. You can see it dropping down all the way down to 165 already.
And now you're seeing that. Now you're seeing the points there, that little 2 gold point. That is for the day. We will have a cumulative leaderboards going forward.
Absolutely. So they already got 1. And Teak go down. They're only about 4 points behind, now just 2 with that elimination as well. So Benji might be able to take the lead off this game. Just have to be careful because today so far, sometimes Amplify going down. They have to be careful.
I asked what was going on with Andretta Trio, and look at their loadout. Something must have happened at their drop where they had to retreat and back away. They do not have power, they do not have surge. They're in shambles, and down goes Andretta. And Redsguard is still feeling that pain of Storm Surge. And I just feel like this trio has always been wounded in day 1, and their rotations have not had the amount of bandwidth that they needed to breathe. Because what ends up happening is these kind of beeline rotations get interrupted by these high-level trios who are making dead side rotations like Hen's trio and things of that sort have sternly disrupted Andretta's run. It's just, if you go back to the VOD reviews, they always have a dangerous neighbor on.
Yeah, they're flipping their POIs back and forth as well. It just gets really awkward to have a sound footing when playing the game. Still, though, I'm just watching out for Amplify, Matzo, and Benji. Train H and NRG, the combination. We're basically going to take first in just a few moments. 1 more Elam, and they can do it.
And why they've been so successful is because Trulix's trio, with Stompy and Pink, have been pushing people down with RPGs. And that game plan for Train H, Matzo, Amplify, and Benji, that is what they're being so successful in, is every time a team gets down there, they're in shambles, and they've been rotated in. Like Reese mentioned, in game 2, the height team was Trulix's team. They had no way to pressure down below, and that was just the perfect scenario, the perfect storm scenario for Amplify's plan there. He basically was able to wipe out a lot of people down below.
And while these guys are kind of in a hurricane surrounded by other teams inside the top 20, other teams looking to be more aggressive. They'll be the eye in the center trying to play a little bit more passively. trying to not have that much action. On
Wow.
the outside, we just got the perspective of Hen, Chapix, and Janice. They're going to be rotating in just a little moment, but everyone else has the same journey to make. They have a max zone pull, and they're all side by side. They'll be clashing, like rotating tops in a little dome back and forth as they make their way towards the zone.
It's so fascinating to see. Everyone was talking about I getting max pulls and max pulls. Well, because everyone's fighting style is the same. Everyone's comfortable fighting on edge, going for Storm Sword stacks on the backside of Storm for late rotations. Now, because of these Storms are kind of pushing so far to the coastline or to the center, you're having a lot of people on that line. And then everybody's, because they're not moving towards center, of course you're going to get max rotational pulls. And it's going to be so dangerous. The fifth zone, things of that sort, are always going to be so dangerous because you're always on the edge. We all know center priority will get you those short rotations. And man, Revsguard is going to have to clutch up here as a solo.
It looks so sad. He's so lonely. Where's his team? They got to focus on Surge next game, man. I don't like seeing my man by himself so alone. He'll figure it out. Props though to stay alive till that point. No shield.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he can make it through. If you see the numbers on the top left of your screen, 58 players alive, 22 trios still left in the lobby. Once that number of trios hits 17, that's where those big placement points start getting handed out as well. Right now, Benji, Amplify, Matzo in the best position in this entire base right now. They're from the bottom side, just beaming up, clawing up towards these upper boxes, trying to drop down anyone, get more elims and more loot.
Now we're seeing the teams. We've seen Chapix go down. The Thomas HD trio, you're seeing that team. Hen and Thomas HD, they're together. They're that neighbor rotation sitting right there. They know exactly that the dead side's valuable, so that's why they're on the north side having this battle. And anyone that invested in the center down in Retail Row, hey, you got to come on back, brother, and come on down to this congested area in Zone 5. It's the half inning.
This is Agent Jones requesting access to restricted file 8752. This is Agent Jones requesting access to restricted file 8752. Oh, really? No time to stabilize reality, but plenty of time to revoke my credentials. This is Agent Jones requesting access to all materials related to the 7. Oh, great! Okay, if you're not going to give me what I need, I'm just going to have to take it.